Yeah, so we can move on to this mock draft. This mock draft will be in a style where we'll go alternative picks now. This will be a new way that we're gonna do it. We're also using Pro Football Focus, though the platform that Reeb has shitted on 100% in the past, but it's okay. They have a pretty good mock draft simulator, so we'll be using that. This will have no trades in this mock draft because at this point there's no point in having trades. This is just what the team should do in terms of these picks. So I'll go through all the odd number picks. So I'll start with pick 1, 3, 5, 7 onwards. And then we'll discuss agree or disagreeing on the pick, and we'll just discuss that. And then Arib will take picks 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. But yeah, we can get it started.
I'm
And we
assuming you're drafting Trevor Lawrence, number
Yep.
one overall.
So Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock, and Trevor Lawrence is the pick. He's been the pick, I believe, since I think he was the pick since the Jets beat the Saints. I want to say I don't remember the game. They beat the Seahawks, I believe. I don't remember the game, but since the Jets won, I can say that's been the pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Now, number two overall, Ma, I've said it so many times on this podcast, and we literally did like an offensive player ranking episode. And even then, I was still like very undecided between Justin Fields and Zach Wilson. That being said, I think Justin Fields does have the intangibles, bro. So as a player right now, I would take Zach Wilson, but like intangibles, I think at number two overall, I think that matters. You need someone who's going to be a hard worker, someone who's willing to learn. I just think he has that leadership and everything. I think I might just have to go Justin Fields here, even though I think Zach Wilson right now might be the better quarterback, which I think that's going to throw a wrench in a lot of things, Amal.
Yeah, I didn't know you were gonna go that way. Yeah, I think that's not gonna happen. So then now you just completely screwed my plan here. Uh, if yeah, that's not gonna happen. So if that does happen, that completely screws this mock draft. Uh, 3, then Zach Wilson will go third. Then I mean that has to
Okay.
that
So
has
you're
to be
not buying into the Trey Lance
well,
rumors
no.
and
Well, now if Zach Wilson's not gonna fall past, he's not gonna go past 3. If that he wasn't gonna go past 2, and now you're gonna say he's going to. Yeah, I mean, I guess that has to be the pick there. So, I mean, I don't understand how. Yeah, I mean,
let someone of that skill fall, you mean? I understand it. The reason I would think about going Trey Lance though, Amal, is I think Zach Wilson, he is a great quarterback, but I think he tries to ad lib too much versus I think Kyle Shanahan, he can let Jimmy G take the ropes, teach Trey Lance, who would be my pick actually. And on top of that, you're getting a dynamic runner of the football. And I think he can mold Trey Lance to fit his system versus I think Zach Wilson, that might be a little bit more difficult. But that being said, Zach Wilson is definitely the better of the two quarterbacks. I don't think there's a question. Okay, now number four, I think I've got to go Kyle Pitts here. I think the thing about the thing about the Falcons is I don't think tight end or even offensive weapon is a need.
definitely not.
Like I think they should definitely prioritize defense. And I think real life Amal, if I were to project a trade here, I would project them trading down and going down to number 9 or maybe even number 15 with the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots respectively. And that way I think they can go out and draft like an edge rusher because they lost Tack McKinley.
Edge
He was a
or corner.
bust. They lost what was his name? Vic Beasley was a massive bust. He had one good season back in 2016 and he got cut a while ago. So like they just don't have any edge pressure. I think they need cornerback help. They lost like all their safeties. They need defensive help. So I think at some level, Kyle Pitts is a luxury pick, but it's also foreshadowing for the future because Julio Jones was injured and Julio Jones honestly missed a lot of games last season. And when he played, he was great. But I think just going to year one for Arthur Smith, I think Kyle Pitts gives you a dynamic athlete who I think your offense is going to be great. And I also think you can at some level project him to replace Julio Jones. And I think you can get good defensive edge help early on in round 2. But I think if you prioritize offense this early, you've got to go defense like the rest of the draft because their defense has been a massive hole for years.
Yeah, definitely. So, pick 5, Bengals here. Uh, I would want them to take Penei Sewell, but I think the pick here is going to be Jamar Chase. And I think it's mainly just because of the chemistry that's there already between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase's only really good season, I guess you could say, is with Joe Burrow at quarterback, and
And
yeah, I
Joe
think
Burrow's elite of the elite seasons happened with Jamar Chase to them all.
so,
These
so
guys,
exactly.
I
Yeah,
think they both make each other like the best versions of themselves possible. I still think Panay Sewell should probably be the pick here,
I
but
agree.
it's a
Yeah,
coin flip. It's a
yeah,
coin flip. And I think
yeah.
at some point you've got to be like, you know what, that chemistry, we're never going to get that chemistry again, unless you want to draft like Terrence Marshall in the second round, which that chemistry is also there, but not to the same level as Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Now we've got some interesting things here. I think Miami. I just need to look up Miami's depth chart real quickly
So
because
it's rumored that Miami will be taking Penei Sewell. That's the rumor out there. And I mean it does make sense because although we didn't talk about this in the news, they did just I believe they moved Eric Flowers to the Washington football team. Uh,
yeah, they did like a trade for him. I think it was a late round pick.
Yeah, exactly. So, and they're planning on moving him to guard. So, I mean, they're planning on moving position to guard. So, I think they want to have this tackle position filled out for Penei Sewell. So, I think that's my opinion what the direction would be. So, I don't know what you think about.
Yeah, I would go Panay Sewell as well. I'm just looking at their offensive line depth chart. Them all. They have Austin Jackson, who's a former, I think, first rounder from last year, I want to say. And then Robert Hunt is decent at the right guard position, but right tackle Jesse Davis. I'll be honest, I have no clue who Jesse Davis is, and I think that's all I need to know to draft a replacement level tackle with Panay Sewell. I think you can maybe play him at right or left, but at some point, I don't think it matters because I think there's just you get an elite player for that line and play him whatever you want to play him. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so pick number 7 here. The Lions. I think for some reason here, Reeb, I think they're not gonna go pick Devontae Smith, although I think they should pick Devontae Smith. Uh, I believe the pick here will be Jalen Waddle. I think they're more
Ooh,
inclined to pick the Jalen Waddle. That's my opinion there. Uh, I would take, like I said before, I would take Devontae Smith here, but I think Jalen Waddle would be the pick.
do you think the weight thing actually drops to Devontae Smith? Because I don't think it does personally.
I think here's my thing, right? If CD Lamb was dropping for absolutely no reason, I still don't even know to this day. Health concern, I don't even remember. If CD Lamb is dropping, I think everyone, even Jerry Judy, in my opinion, dropped in the last draft. I didn't see those guys going past 10, and they both went like to 15, past 15. So if I can see wide receivers really dropping past Chase, so it wouldn't shock me if Waddle even fell past 15. But I think for some reason, I think Waddle is valued ahead of Smith. And I've also heard that there are teams that value Waddle over Smith, such as I believe the Miami Dolphins do. Uh, I don't know if the Lions do, but we'll see. But I'm gonna lean towards Jalen Waddle here with the pick. And Jalen Waddle was the better prospect heading into college. I'm not sure that means anything, but um, he does have the intangibles, and he is supposed to be Tyreek Hill 2.0. We'll see if that comes out to be true or not.
Fair enough. With the Carolina Panthers pick at number 8, I'm going to go Rashawn Slater. I think they just need to improve their offensive line. If you want to play Rashawn Slater at guard, do that. If you want to play him at tackle, do that. I don't care where you play him. I think you just need an improvement at the offensive line, and I think Rashawn Slater definitely gives that to you. Amal,
Yeah,
you better pick who I think should be the
yeah,
pick here
here,
at
yeah,
number
here,
9,
yeah,
though.
here it's gonna be Trey Lance. Honestly, the need at quarterback is there for Denver, and I think heading into the draft, I'm pretty sure they would be okay with either Fields or Lance at 9. and they'll be happy having Trey Lance at 9 without even needing to trade up for him. So they'll be very happy with that pick.
Yeah, and I think you can let Drew Lock be the starter this year. If Drew Lock actually improves, then you have a trade asset, I think, and you can either move Trey Lance or Drew Lock, or if he sucks, then you have a high ceiling quarterback on the bench. So I like the move no matter what.
Definitely.
Number 10 here, my favorite corner is actually JC Horn. So I'm going to go JC
I
Horn.
think that pick makes sense here as well because Mike McCarthy coached Joe Horn, and I believe that connection is there, and I believe the Dallas front office is also inclined with J.C. Horn more than Patrick Surtain. So yeah, I'm a fan of that pick. And then at 11, I think here the pick will be Devontae Smith. I think he's too good to pass up on here. In terms of all these different players that are available, I think that seems to be the pick here. I think that the Giants want to have that tandem of Galladay and Devontae Smith. So and Evan Ingram, of course, but I think Devontae Smith will be the pick there. Yeah.
Dude, that hurt me, man. You really picked the one player I didn't want you to pick.
Yeah, I mean it's similar to when you picked Justin Fields at 2. That also hurt. But yeah, we can move. Yeah.
Okay. My cornerback number 2 is Patrick Surtain. I think cornerback is a bigger need than wide receiver for the Eagles. And I think going that way with corner, you can pair him up with Darius Slay year 1, move Avonte Maddox to the slot. And I think cornerback, the fact they didn't sign a single cornerback to me when they had a huge glaring hole, it just shows that they believe that they're going to fill that hole in the draft. And yeah, I think Patrick Surtain fills a definite hole. There's no wide receivers I would take if I was the Eagles here. I mean, Rashad Bateman maybe, and Terrence Marshall maybe, but both those guys I think you can maybe trade back into the second round for, like what the Niners did when they traded up for Brandon Ayuk last season. I think you can do that and get those two guys.
Yeah, so I actually agree with your pick there. Pick 13 here. They do need a tackle, the Los Angeles Chargers. They also need a guard. I think Elijah Vera Tucker makes sense here. So does Christian Darrisaw. I'll probably lean towards Elijah Vera Tucker because he has that multi-positional value. So I'm leaning towards Elijah Vera Tucker here at 13.
Fair enough. I have no complaints there. I might go Christian Darrisaw, but I think you need a lot of holes to fix if you're the Chargers. And I think AVT fixes a lot of them just because he plays like every single position.
On the line, yeah.
Okay, now for the
Minnesota Vikings.
I'm
I think
just
here
thinking.
Darrisaw would make
I
sense.
think I'm probably go Darrisaw here. I'm just gonna look at the depth chart real quickly so I can make a somewhat informed opinion. I think going off of the tackle makes sense for them. I think going edge also makes sense for them because Daniil Hunter's future is up in the air for that team. Brian O'Neill, Garrett Bradbury, Ezra Cleveland. Nah, you can definitely fill in a left tackle hole there. Rashad Hill is definitely someone worth replacing at the left tackle spot. And I think Darrisaw gives you a really high type of ceiling here for the tackle position.
Yeah, so 15, this is not going to happen. Like you said, this is a mock without trades. This is not going to happen, but Mac Jones will be picked at 15 if Mac Jones is not there. If Mac Jones is on the board at 15. But Patriots will trade up most likely if Mac Jones falls outside the top 10. So they will probably move from 15 to 11 if anything happens. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty simple pick. I'm all now here at 16. See, my second favorite cornerback is Kelvin Joseph, or my third favorite cornerback is Kelvin Joseph in this year's draft, right? I really like Kelvin Joseph. I also really like the other guy, Greg Newsome, and I like Caleb Farley. Caleb Farley's injury, though, actually scares me, man. I think his injury for a top 16 pick here, because I think going corner would probably be the play here. You have DeAndre Hopkins, you brought in AJ Green, Christian Kirk. You still got the remnants of Andy Isabella. I don't think there's a wide receiver worth picking here at 16. I think cornerback is probably a bigger need because they need to replace their longtime All-Pro Patrick Peterson, who has signed with the Vikings, actually. I think I'm going to end up going Greg Newsome just because I think I like Kelvin Joseph more, but Kelvin Joseph has off the field and Caleb Farley has I think, legitimate injury questions. And I think you got to go with the safer player here. And Greg Newsome is a damn good corner in his own regard. This guy moves really fluidly well. You can't, get any deep passes on him whatsoever. Caleb Farley, a bit too over aggressive for my liking, but I think he's the ceiling play here. But Newsome, I think, is a safer pick and gives you a good ceiling and doesn't have the injury concerns. So I think that's a great pick for them.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that pick. I would have probably picked Caleb Farley here, even though there is injury concern, serious injury concern with him. Now at 17, this is an interesting spot here. They do need an O line really badly, but I think here I'd probably lean towards Caleb Farley here at 17. Mainly,
Really?
yeah, because I just think corner is still a massive hole that I think the Raiders do have. So, um, I don't think they'd reach with the tackle pick here. Tackle,
Well, I don't think there is a reach here. I think you could
they could
comfortably
go
go
Tevin
Tevin
Jenkins.
Jenkins
They
or
can go
Dylan Radunes.
They can go
Like,
Tevin Jenkins here, but I don't. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think me and you are different on the valuation of Tevin Jenkins. I forgot I would have taken him over Christian Darrisaw, but I misclicked. But I think they're both tied. So
Yeah,
you
I,
think
I think.
Farley's the pick here?
Do I think? Here's the thing. I don't even think Farley would be
Because I
picked.
think they have Damon Arnett, they have Trayvon Mullen, two former first rounders. I don't think cornerback is that big of a
That is true.
need.
That's true. That's true. All right. Then yeah, I'll roll with Tevin Jenkins here. Then yeah, I'm okay with that pick. Because I
I
think
think they could also go like any defensive position though, because
they
I
also
think
can. Because
yeah,
then Parsons is also a good pick there. But I
but they
think
also like butchered their offensive line for like no reason. It was really weird. Like they got rid of like two of their
every,
starters.
yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, you got pick 18.
Ooh, dude, pick 18. Another interesting pick here for Miami. We had them fixing that tackle hole firstly with Penei Sewell. Now I think going edge rusher would make a lot of sense. And I think the best edge rusher on the board for me is Jalen Phillips. I think he's the best pass
Make
rusher,
him
and
stay in Miami.
he can stay in Miami. And I think you need someone who I think is a sack producer, and I think he's probably the best sack producer in this year's class by a decent margin. So I think Jalen Phillips there fills a hole. And they just don't have any pass rushes there, Amal, whatsoever. They have a great secondary, but they need to be able to pressure the quarterback more. Christian Wilkins can only do so much by himself.
Yeah, so now we're at pick 19. This is a steal at 19 here, and that is Micah Parsons. It is shocking that, in my opinion, the best defensive player in this year's class has fallen to the 19th pick in the draft. Uh, and it's going based off purely, I guess, need. The linebacker need is not heavy in any of these teams picking. So, and also he opted out. I think we talked about this already. Only Jamar Chase really took advantage of opting out because I think his draft stock stayed exactly the same with whether he played or didn't play. When you look at Micah Parsons would have probably been a top 5 pick locked, maybe even top 3 pick locked if he played this year. And he didn't play and he opted out. And now character issues are coming out about him, like unnecessarily stuff that could have easily been avoided if he played this year. And unfortunately, he didn't. And I think his draft stock will fall. And I think in this draft, he might also fall. I think we're gonna see Micah Parsons seriously fall in this draft.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. So number 20, I think the biggest need for I'm for the Bears. I'm tempted to pick
They need
Kellen Mond
everything,
here.
dude. They need everything. Shut up. They do need every single position. Uh,
Except they need corner too, to be honest. Ooh.
Linebackers, I think the only position they don't need. I can say that strongly. So
Okay, wide receiver. I think they could go Rashad Bateman to replace. Um, I mean, I guess they did bring back good old AR-12. I don't know. It's interesting
I
though.
don't think they'd pick wide receiver here. I
I
think
think
tackle would be
offensive
better.
line is definitely
Yeah,
the biggest need,
yeah.
other
O
than
line.
quarterback, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Offensive line, they can go that way.
And I think if they were to
Cornerback,
go,
they have a huge hole after letting what's his face go, Eddie Jackson, not Eddie Jackson. What's his name? The guy that let down Wolf Kendall Fuller.
Yeah,
They let
Kendall
him
Fuller.
go. I think who's the best player on the board right here? Caleb Farley.
Caleb Farley is probably the best player on the board.
But I think
He's
the
probably
safest pick for me would probably be
it would probably be
Liam Eichenberg, maybe, or Dylan Radunes.
you could also say Samuel Cosme too. He's
I'm
also
higher on both Dylan Radunes and Liam Eichenberg though. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take Dylan Radunes. I think he has the athletic ceiling that Liam Eichenberg doesn't have, and I think he's also a safer pick than Samuel Cosme. Now you're Indianapolis Colts, my guy.
I firmly expect them to be trading back, but if they do not trade back, I believe Quiddy Pay is still on the board, Reed.
Quiddy Pay is on the board, Amal. Yep.
Yeah. We will send it with that pick here.
You don't want to pick Jason Owe?
Not over Quiddy Pay, so I'm okay with that. And I'm pretty sure you're okay with that as well.
I'm more than okay with that, Amal. I think he's a late second rounder at best, Jason Owe. But we agree to disagree. Okay, now for the Rashad Bateman's going to be my hammer home pick here, without even a question.
Oh yeah, here my hammer pick here is Elijah Moore, having that Ole Miss connection between AJ Brown and Elijah Moore is something that I think you need to take into consideration. The speed is there, and I think AJ Brown.
I agree with you actually.
That pick.
I think Elijah Moore actually makes more sense because they already have an alpha in AJ Brown, and I think they needed some more lightning to add to that. And I think Elijah Moore fits that hole for sure. Yeah, I agree with that pick. Good pick, them all.
And then pick 23, they just filled their QB hole with the second pick. The Jets, this is the pick they received from the Jamal Adams trade. Now, I think edge makes a lot of sense. So does corner.
I like Christian Barmore here. Actually, I think you can pit him.
He's
with
not gonna.
Quinnen Williams. I think
it's Quinn. Yeah, that's the thing.
Two former Bama players, them all.
That's true.
Or even Levi and Wuzurika as well, who I guess their PFF is lower on him than we are by a lot. Apparently, what the heck?
Jesus, where is he?
Dude, he's not even on the page one.
Yeah, Aziz Ojulari would probably be my pick here.
Fair enough. I mean, they need help everywhere, so they can go anywhere. Where is Aziz Ojulari? Right here. Cool.
Yeah. They need help everywhere. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, Pittsburgh quarterbacks obviously need, offensive lines a need, running back is a need. I think they can fill that running back need later on.
Ooh, interesting. I would I have them taking Najee Harris here at 24.
I don't think they need any defensive help. They definitely need offensive line help though. So I think Liam Eichenberg is the safest pick here for me. I just scouted Stone Forsythe Amal, and he's someone I think who's going to go most likely round 2 to day, like third, like he's day 2 lock for me, but he's someone who has the athletic ceiling to really, be one of the best tackles in this year's class. So that's a sneaky first round name to hear. I'm going to take Liam Eichenberg though, because I think he's the safest, more like the surest bet at tackle.
All right, fair enough. Like I said, I'd probably take Najee Harris because I think running back is a serious need there. Now we move on to pick 25. Here, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they also need pretty much everything, honestly. I'm going to go Trevon Moehrig out of TCU as the pick here. I think they do need safety help, and I think solidifying that defense would strongly benefit the Jacksonville Jaguars and make them back to where they were about 5 years ago. So I like Trevon Moehrig here out of TCU.
Yeah, and if the Cleveland Browns are up here at 26 with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah on the board, they better run that pick home because their pass defense sucked.
Agreed.
And I think JOK is the closest thing to Isaiah Simmons in this year's class. He's super versatile, plays the nickel, plays safety, plays linebacker really well at a high level. I think he's going to immediately improve their passing defense, like not even a question about it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And then 27, I think Rashad Bateman here is going to be the pick. I think the need at wide receiver is heavy for the Baltimore Ravens, and I think this is an easy pick to make.
Okay, now at 28, right? You have the New
The
Orleans
New Orleans
Saints, dude. They don't really need, I don't think they need a lot of help. Linebacker.
wide receiver
uh,
is not a need for them, bro. I'll be honest. It's not a serious need. They have Michael Thomas. So I'd probably say their biggest needs are linebacker and corner. I can agree with that.
if we were to
My
go linebacker, I would probably go Zaven Collins
Yeah, out of Tulsa. That
out of
makes a lot of sense.
Tulsa.
That makes a lot of sense. I
I
think
also could see them
Jameem,
going
da-
Rondell Moore
Jameem
though, Mo.
Davis makes a lot of sense. Rondell Moore does make sense. I'm not gonna lie, that makes
You
sense.
know, I'm
Caleb
gonna go that
Farley
way
here makes
actually. I think I'm gonna go that way. I think
Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore. What they need some more explosiveness to that offense. I feel like, and I think you could
That
add that with
he
Rondell
definitely
Moore.
does bring explosiveness. I can definitely agree with that. I would have had Rondell Moore go pick later to the Green Bay Packers, but I'm okay with that. Here at pick 29, they also seriously need wide receiver help, the Green Bay Packers, but I think they'll ignore that all aside, and I think they'll pick cornerback Caleb Farley because they will never give Aaron Rodgers help. So we're gonna stick through that route. Zaven
Yeah, I
Collins
mean
is a good pick there too, though. But
he can
I'll
come in and replace a lot of things there.
yeah.
Ooh, now at 30. Okay, Jason Owe is definitely not the pick. I can tell you that much. Barmore, maybe they can pair him with Ed Oliver. I think they have to go defense here, and I think
Here you'll pick
going
Barmore.
maybe I can go Barmore here. Maybe
You can go Najee Harris here. They need running back.
who are the edges that we've taken? We've taken Aziz
Jason O is
Ojulari,
on the
Kwity
board.
Paye, Jalen Phillips. Who's my fourth ranked edge? Is it? It might actually be Joe Tryon.
Yeah, that's too high on Joe Tryon, in my opinion. I don't.
Oh, Payne Turner and Ronnie Perkins too. Joe Tryon,
Yeah, that's
Payne
kind of
Turner.
at
I
that
could
point.
see them going
At that point,
corner too.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But
Who's the best outside corner here? First of all, Javon Holland is not a corner. Kelvin Joseph, I think too early for him just because of the risk. Ooh, Ifeatu Melifonwu, maybe. I like him. I like Paulson Adebo too. It's an interesting pick 'em all. I think if we're going best player available, right? Looking at edge, for me, I really like Peyton Turner. I like Ronnie Perkins. I like Joe Tryon.
you'll go Barmore.
I'm going to go Barmore.
Yeah,
You-
I feel that. That would probably be my pick here as well. Najee Harris would probably be close to that though. 31. The Baltimore Ravens. They just picked at 27 Rashad Bateman. Here, I think they're gonna take my guy Jason Owe. And I have no problems with that pick.
Hey, I mean, I think there's two teams that can develop Jason Owe really well. Three, actually. The Steelers, the Ravens, and the Vikings. So I'm down with all of those picks personally. I like how quarterback is a need for the Buccaneers.
It is a need. So you can say Kyle Trask here at 32, and I would not have a problem with it. Yeah, that I'll leave it at that honestly. But I think Levi is a better pick. Yeah,
I think Levi gives you someone who can actually replace Ndamukong Suh when the time comes along. Let's look at some of these grades. Amal Dylan Radunes is a D pick for me.
your Sean Slater pick got an F. I think that was pretty funny.
How? What? You gotta love
All
PFF's
my picks
grades,
seem
bro.
to. I think all my picks seem to do well, except yeah, I think all my picks seem to do well.
Yeah, I
Tevin,
guess they don't like my players that I like.
but yeah,
That is mock draft 3.0 Amal. Any picks that you think, well, I guess notable second round players, I think would be Zaven Collins, Jamin Davis, Kelvin
Jamin
Joseph.
Davis will probably be picked in the first round. I probably
I
believe
think
that.
Zaven Collins goes in the first round too. I think he'll sneak in here somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll see Rondell Moore and Elijah Moore and Rashad Bateman and Waddle and Chase and Smith all go first round. I don't know if we'll see 6 wide receivers all being picked that high. Uh, but I don't know. Levi, I don't know if he'll be picked first round. Christian Barmore, another guy. Caleb Farley, I don't know if he's going to be picked first round because of his injury
He's the
issues.
biggest faller. Nice to know Gregory Rousseau didn't go in the first round though. That warms my heart.
Gregory Rousseau will probably be picked in the second round. He's a notable player, but he is going to be picked in the second round. I don't know if because I think teams will be complacent with him being a second round pick and just not take him in the first round when
As
they
it should be, Amal.
they when they could have, I could say. But yeah, uh, yeah, I think that's all I gotta say. This was a pretty good mock draft. The only real red flag for me was, in fact, Justin Fields over Zach Wilson. I believe Justin Fields is better than Zach Wilson, but I think Zach Wilson has always been the pick. But yeah, that's all I gotta say there.
Yeah, I think this draft Amal is going to be super unpredictable, especially with it being a COVID draft. No, I mean, pro days, everyone's pro days numbers are like inflated, no combine numbers. I mean, opt outs 2019, like Levi didn't play. So many notable first round picks just didn't play in 2020, 2019, 2020. So it's a lot of projecting going on here. And I think this first round that we're looking at could be very different come tomorrow night because there's just going to be a lot of things, I think, and a lot of moving wheels, trades, obviously. But yeah, I think this is one of my favorite mock drafts so far this season, and I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow night. But yeah, that is it for me. Episode 69. Again, we have peaked. We're never gonna. I might just stop making podcast after this. I don't think there's a point in just continuing on. But yeah, that is it for me. Thanks for listening. Peace out and bye.